We'd like to help you accelerate the revenue growth of your products using insights gained from real-world clinical data. What if a few minutes of your time could help us transform healthcare? Our client, SurgiQuest, brought a new technology to minimally invasive surgery. They gained good market share in robotics cases, but that was a small minority of the overall laparoscopic market. So we did a CQI project together, and in 9 months, we collected data from over 100 patients. We did multiple feedback loops to get insights into the value of their technology. For patients, we improved value-based outcomes. For the hospital, we improved their net margin. For our client, we published a white paper that the sales reps used to open doors they couldn't get through before. The end result, they accelerated their revenue growth by getting into the broader laparoscopic market. And 6 months later, they were acquired by CONMED for $265 million. I'm Bruce Ramshaw, and for almost 30 years, I was an academic surgeon. Since 1994, I've been considered a world expert in the field of minimally invasive surgery. This led to incredible opportunities to travel around the world, teaching and performing laparoscopic surgery. In 1996, I did the first laparoscopic procedure in the Republic of Georgia, in Tbilisi. And the president of the country, Edward Shevardnadze, actually came and watched me operate, and I sat next to him at a press conference. I thought my career was going to be about disrupting open surgery and accelerating the growth of minimally invasive surgery. I thought a type of surgery that would lead to less pain and a quicker recovery would lead to lower costs, improve outcomes, and a sustainable healthcare system. That's me in the picture doing my last laparoscopic procedure internationally in Strasbourg, France. And in the 25 years between that first laparoscopic international surgery and my last laparoscopic international surgery, we haven't moved the needle at all on unsustainable costs and variable quality in healthcare. But over the past decade, I began to realize that a 7th grader learned the solution for these problems almost 50 years ago. Our clients are pharmaceutical, medical device, and diagnostics companies, and they struggle to gain market share traction for their products. It's difficult to get products into the hospital and especially into the OR. And this leads to slow or even stagnant market share growth. To exacerbate the problem, the company's sales reps have a difficult time getting in front of these busy clinicians. And industry is farthest from the healthcare dollar, so they're under the greatest pressure to demonstrate the value of their products. This is typically done through the hospital value analysis committee process. And the committees almost always ask for clinical data. Traditionally, the way we've generated clinical data in healthcare is one of healthcare's sacred cows, the prospective randomized controlled trial. But we're learning more and more in healthcare that these clinical trials are very expensive, slow to generate data, and the data that's produced doesn't really translate well into the real world of patient care. These clinical trials are supposed to produce results that are generalizable to all patients in all local environments, and that's just not reality. We don't live in a one-size-fits-all world. There are other types of clinical data, like registries and administrative data sets that come from claims data and electronic medical records. But we've learned these large aggregated data sets are full of errors. There are other healthcare data analytics companies. They're using these large, poor quality aggregated data sets, trying to normalize the data and then do analysis. And that's a perfect example of garbage in, garbage out. Fortunately, there is a solution. I want you to be thinking about this question. What would be the value of gaining insights from high-quality, real-world data that could accelerate the revenue growth for my products? Our method allows us to get access to data faster because our method doesn't require IRB submission. We get better quality data because we curate the data set with feedback loops, working with the clinical team. We also get better data because we've learned to eliminate the noise and focus on what really matters. And that leads to meaningful insights. And isn't that what data is supposed to be about? Generating meaningful insights that impact value-based outcomes for patients? And for our clients, these insights allow us to understand the value of their products, and this leads to accelerating revenue growth. We hear a lot about AI, artificial intelligence in healthcare. but I haven't seen any example where AI, artificial intelligence, has benefited patients. So what we really need in healthcare is not AI, artificial intelligence, it's AI, actual intelligence. That's what our CQI method can do. We combine the collective intelligence of the clinical team with computing capabilities for multiple analytics and data visualization tools that leads to increasingly valuable insights that then improves value-based outcomes. What could our CQI method that produces actual intelligence do for your products? Our CQI method also allows us to interact with data in real time. Using our interactive data visualization tool, we quickly visualize different factors and combinations of factors and see the impact on value-based outcomes. These insights can inform deeper analysis and produce ideas for improvement. Back to that 7th grader. By now, you might have realized that that was actually me. I'm in the picture. I played high school football. I was center and kicker. And as a kid, I loved football. I wanted to watch every NFL football game on TV, but I needed an excuse for my mom. So I came up with an idea to collect data around NFL football injuries, and that became my 7th grade science fair project in 1977. What I didn't realize is that method of collecting data is a data science method for improving outcomes. So when I crunched the data at the end of the season, I learned that extremes of temperature and the artificial turf were highly correlated with increased incidence of injuries. Over the next 2 decades, the NFL brought heating and cooling technologies to the field and replaced the poor quality artificial turf. The data set we're using are all the ventral hernia repairs done at one hospital over the period of a year. And we wanted to assess a new technology, a long-acting local anesthetic. Other shorter-acting local anesthetics last a few hours, but this new drug can last days. So it's used for post-op pain control after major surgery. So you can imagine if your surgical incision was numb for a few days, how much that might improve your recovery. But the problem is the drug costs over $300 per dose. The shorter-acting local anesthetics cost about $1 per dose. So the manager of the hospital pharmacy budget doesn't want anyone using the new drug because it's a negative impact on their budget. But that's not what matters to patients or even the overall financial outcome for the hospital. So when we looked at the actual data, we saw when this new drug wasn't used, the length of stay was over 70 hours and the hospital lost over $3,000 per patient. When the new drug was used, the length of stay was just 36 hours and the hospital lost about $1,500 per patient. So there was a net financial benefit to the hospital of about $1,500 per patient, despite the added cost. We'd like to help you accelerate the revenue growth of your products, just like we did for SurgiQuest.
For more information, visit Caresyntax.com. Thank you for watching.